So for all you people here on YouTube that are watching this, this is a little action camera. So what we're looking at here is the Sony Action Camera, the HDR S15, competitor to the GoPro. It has two shooting modes, one 120 and 170 wide angle. It shoots 720p at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 30 frames per second, also 720p at 60 frames per second, and 720 at 120 frames per second slow motion. And the difference is the 120 wide angle has stabilization, and the 170 degree wide angle does not have image stabilization. So it is still shaky, but it's very, very wide at 170 degrees. And it also comes with this waterproof case, and the only thing that I can say about the waterproof case, it works and it works well, and that's the only way you can use the tripod mount is the waterproof case. So you cannot use the external microphone input slot while you're using the waterproof case. It has the back and forward button, or preview and next. At the bottom, it has the HDMI port, micro USB for charging, and an external port. You got a big ass red record button on the back. It also has a hold button where it will make sure you're not accidentally hitting the record button. It can use micro SD cards up to 64 gigs. I'm using a class 10 8GB, and I got about 2 hours and 60 minutes in 720p at 30 frames per second. It has a nice wide angle Carl Zeiss lens, and I'm going to switch over to some footage of me ziplining, and it does have stereo microphones on the front, so you can use this bad boy for vlogging like I did the day I went ziplining. So with that being said, on with the amazing footage. So now what you're checking out is some zipline footage I shot the other day, shooting in at 720p at 30 frames per second in full 170 degree wide angle, and there's no color correction, no nothing. Everything is just stock from the camera, and you can see it's very vibrant and very bright, and we were like 450 feet off the ground. And I think for my very first action camera, this camera is really badass. I think it's a very good competitor to the GoPro. It does what it's supposed to do, and it does it very, very well. I highly recommend it, guys. I'm not just saying it. It's a win in my book. Okay guys, we're out here in sunny Florida doing some little test shots over by this little pond by my house at 720p at 30 frames per second with the frame rate, or the angle, is 120 wide angle lens. And as you can see, it's not as wide angle as the 170 degrees, but this would be something you can use actually, I would say, for vlogging. So guys, on my way back home, just actually really testing out this action camera to its full ability, just so you guys can actually see what it's capable of doing. And like Nick, you said the actual microphones on it sound pretty decent for vlogging, so that's what I'm trying to do, is use it for vlogging. I'm not going to use it all the time for vlogging because I use my phone for that, but just trying it out. So with that being said, guys, that is the full review of the Sony HDR AS15 shooting in at 720p at 30 frames per second. And like I said, with an 8GB SD card or micro SD card, class 10, I got about 2 hours and 40 minutes. And I'll say this, the battery really held up. It lasted the full 3 hours that I was using it on and off throughout the day, vlogging from Jacksonville, Florida to Central Florida, which it was like a 3-hour drive, and then we did like a 3-hour ziplining tour. This actually held up a lot more than I thought it would. So with that being said, I think you guys, if you're into action and into going out there, and even if you wanted something for vlogging with the very wide angle, you'd be very pleasantly surprised how great it is. It comes with a mount, so you can mount it on like your helmet. It comes with this trusty, durable, waterproof case. And yes, I didn't show you any waterproof videos, but there will be more videos to come on this channel and on my vlog channel, which is always in the description box. You guys should check it out. I vlog all the time and make a Raw Talk podcast where I talk my ass off and just speak the truth. But I really wanted to give you guys a full, in-depth review of how I use this camera. And I'm not like a really hardcore action person who uses it like riding a bike or riding a dirt bike or has it mounted to a motorcycle. I use it as a regular dude would use it, like maybe going ziplining once in a while, maybe using it when you go to the beach and go swimming, and using it for vlogging purposes, because it has 2 stereo microphones with a Carl Zeiss wide angle lens, which does the job. And I'll show you guys this, which I didn't show you in the beginning. At the bottom, it has a microphone input. So when you're wanting an external microphone to get better quality audio, you can do that. But when it's in the waterproof case, you just don't have the ability to use the external microphone. There is some MacGyvering going on online, that people have MacGyvered the microphone input so they can actually use it for moto vlogging or for vlogging purposes when they have it on a tripod. But I'll see you guys in the next review. Thanks for watching, guys.